Okay, welcome students. I'm glad to see Alyssa back with us. Uh, and so we have Mr. Jose. Thank you all for joining us. And we're really thankful to have our employer, Mr. Jerry Rogers from Conagra. He is the manager of the Plant Human Resources Department out there. And we're going to get to hear some information about Conagra and about what he does. And he's going to take it and go with the show right now. So welcome, Jerry. Let us hear what you have.
Thank you, everybody, and welcome to whomever may be out there, in case there's folks dialed in, I guess. I mentioned earlier that I'll apologize on the front end that virtual is still new to me. I've been around long enough that I'm used to the in-person, face-to-face stuff. So this is a little bit different, but I'll try to remember the camera is right there and not go all over the place. But I'm going to apologize in advance. So my name is Jerry. I'm the HR manager for this location here in Russellville, Arkansas, and I also support the another location in Dixon, Tennessee, which is just west of Nashville, Tennessee. I guess my background, just to kind of level set there, my background is I've been in human resources now for I think at least 25 years is what I counted up. Went to college at Arkansas State University. Eventually wound up finishing my degree at Arkansas State University through a couple of other small colleges. And that was back in '96, I believe. And I've currently been at this plant now since about September. I've been with Conagra going on, I believe it's 8 years now that I joined Conagra. And I've bounced around just a little bit with Conagra, which we may talk about that a little bit later. This facility, this Russellville, Arkansas facility, this is the largest facility in the Conagra network. We do have platforms, what we call platforms. Our platform is considered frozen and refrigerated, which means the products that we produce are typically going to be either frozen or refrigerated when they arrive at our customers and also at the consumers. Just to clarify that, the customer is who we sell the product to, so that would be your Kroger's, that would be your Walmart and other folks that buy our product, and then the consumers are going to be the ones that buy that from the customers and then actually ultimately consume our product. This plant employs, gosh, we're pushing 1,600 employees currently. We run 3 shifts. Primarily production is 2 shifts. That would be a first shift and a second shift. And then third shift is typically utilized for the sanitation cycle. So we are regulated by USDA and to some extent FDA, and that requires us to make sure that we clean and sanitize all of our equipment and processes either every day, or there's a rotation that we use in one of our areas in Cortina, where I think they're every 13 days, depending on the product that they make back there. The Dixon, Tennessee facility, I still support, and it's a small facility that's about, I think we have about 270 people at that location. It's a 3-shift operation as well, 2 production shifts, and then 1 sanitation cycle on third shift. It's a lot smaller location, and in fact, it is slated to close later this year. I think September is going to be the end of that plant, and it will be absorbed into the 2 other plants. One is Jackson, Tennessee, and then we'll get some of their production processes here in Russellville as well. From a production standpoint, we make frozen and refrigerated food under various brand names. We also have a lot of what I would call work in process. So if you can imagine the Dixon, Tennessee plant makes a sausage ball, and they make sausage gravy sold under the Odom's Tennessee Pride brand name. The Russellville plant actually buys the raw material, the meat, and some of the spices, has it shipped to this plant, and we might buy the different cuts of meat, whether it's pork, chicken, beef, whatever goes in that specific SKU. We would blend it here in Russellville, add some spices here in Russellville, and then we would put it into larger, not this big, but larger totes that would be sent over to the Dixon, Tennessee facility, where they would then introduce it to their production processes and then form it and turn it into an actual sausage ball that's put into a little bag and sold to the customer under that Odom's Tennessee Pride brand name. So that's our work in process, what I call work in process. We also make our own finished goods here. I have a couple of examples here. One is a new product. My production people don't like when I promote this one because it is a booger to produce. I know I probably shouldn't use that term in the food manufacturing industry, but it is a pain. But it's a good product. I actually have this one in the freezer, in our free freezer. It's really good. But the purple carrot, and I'll open this. I might eat it later. So you can see that when we make these things, there's cartons, there's cases. These all go into a case, so they're multi-packed. And then on the inside of this, if you open this, tear off strip. Sometimes those don't work correctly, so we have to reach out to our vendor. If you open this, you'll see that there is now a bowl. And this is one of our fiber bowls, so it's not plastic. It's actually made from plant-based material, so it is microwavable. You don't have to vent it. It's got a lid on here that you can open. I will open this one and hopefully not drop it all over, just so you can see it. So there's an example of what the frozen product would look like. And then you pop that in the microwave and cook it. So this would go through our production processes. Obviously, there's a lot that goes on into getting it, the raw materials into this bowl, into this carton, and then all these cartons into a case, which I didn't bring in. Another example, I apologize for all the time wasted on this, but I'm the kind of person I like to see things and feel things, so this is an example. So this is another product that is really good. We call it a tray and tray internally, but it's a steamer. It's a cafe steamer. It's the grilled chicken marinara with Parmesan. It is really good. And if you look here, you'll see that it's 2 trays. I don't know if the camera shows it very well, but there's a steamer tray on the inside. You see the slits in there. And then the sauce is actually on the bottom. So the sauce gets cooked in another one of our work in process areas and dropped into this. And then the vegetables and the meat would be loaded into the top tray. So you would pop this in the microwave. The heat from the microwave cooks the sauce, causes steam to rise. The steam then cooks the broccoli and the chicken. And then when it's all done, you take the bowl, the tray out and dump it into the bowl and mix it up. And now you've got a nice cafe steamer. These are actually really good. I eat these things all the time. I did not bring any, don't have access to any of the products that come out of Dixon, so I can't show you those, but that's kind of a bit of what we do. The behind the scenes of what all goes on into making these things is a lot more intensive, and that's where I would say it'd be good for somebody who's interested in seeing what we do, or possibly even joining our team here in Dixon, Russellville or Dixon, to come and look at the actual processes. So you can walk the floor, you can smell the smells. You can see how cold it is, because we do run most of our environments at 40 or below, maybe 45 degrees or below, unless it's one of the areas where we actually do some cooking. I mentioned the sausage balls, and then we also make patties, so a Salisbury patty, a meatloaf, and things like that, and there would be warmer environments where we're cooking those products, but it's a good chance to see all that. From a career standpoint, one of the things that I think I learned, maybe not early on, but was ingrained in me is, come to work. So yes, it's snowy outside. Yes, it's cold outside, but I'm at work. So one of the things I always tell folks when I interact with them is, if you really want to make an impression on your employer, or if you're going to be a business owner, the best ways is to be dependable. I try to tell my son that. You're easy to listen, but I'm trying to encourage, if you just show up, you'll be that dependable person, and that will open doors for you in and of itself. And then you have to decide what you want to do from that standpoint. So I always recommend keeping that in mind. I don't know, what else? I may pause and see if there's any questions. I don't want to ramble. So anybody have any questions that maybe I should cover?
You all can undo your mic and ask him questions. So I have one, since you mentioned facility tours. Are you still, during COVID, offering those facility tours?
We have the capability, yes. The size of them has to be a little bit smaller, but we now have another show and tell. I don't have all of my other stuff on. So when you enter the factory, the guys that have beards or facial hair have to put a beard net on. You have to put a hair net on. You have to have proper eyewear. I don't have my proper eyewear on to go in the factory. But then you also have to wear crap like this. Excuse me. You have to wear stuff like this. So due to COVID, we have the hard hat. So we have the face shield. And then you saw me earlier with my face mask on. So I say all that to say that we would go in the factory like this, but we've invested in a headset that has earmuffs that come down to protect the hearing, and a microphone for the leader of the tour. So we do have the capability of doing some tours, yes, it just has to be a little bit smaller tour nowadays.
I've been on those tours a couple of times, and it is very fascinating to learn what all is done there. So that's why I was wondering if some of those if those tours are available and the students wanted to go. So I didn't want to put that out there as in this position if those weren't available, because it's very neat, especially because there's so many options. People don't think engineers and different things that we have here would fit in that. They just have the mindset, the students have the mindset, it's a food processing plant. It's just factory work, and it's not that cut and dry.
That's actually a great segue. Thank you for that. So if you think through all of the things that we do here and the different levels of education that we would need to do those things and the different skill sets that come out of those education and training sessions that people are getting from college and high school, it runs the gamut. So specific to Arkansas Tech, business students would be good, because obviously this is, you're kind of running your own little business, whether you have an HR team of 5 or 6 or 7, or you have a production line that's 15 to 30, or the plant manager who has all 1,600 that report to him. You are running a business. You're managing the financials, you're scheduling the people, so there's a lot of things that go on. The technical side of things, all of the various engineering type degrees would be huge for the process. So we have a ton of equipment, everything from conveyors that have to be made to work in the food industry, because they get wet, they get cold, then they get hot when they get washed down, and they get cold again, they freeze. So there's a lot of things that go on from an engineering standpoint. The different projects, this facility especially gets a lot of multi-million-dollar investments made in it to, again, we're closing down a Dixon, Tennessee plant, but we had to invest in equipment to come here so that we could absorb that. So there's actually an engineering manager who takes care of those kinds of projects that keeps things going. It's project management 101. I think you have like a health, not health, the food science, I forget what it's called, but anything that deals with, I know you have the cattle over there and you have some ag. All of those things are relative to what we do as well, because as I mentioned earlier, USDA, we interact with the government, FDA, we interact with the government. And then a lot of what we do, we have folks who are scientists, I forget what we call them, chemists, to some extent, where they're looking at flavor profiles, they're testing, they're trialing, they're doing some small production runs to see if this ingredient makes a difference in the taste, or if it affects the label that's on here, if sodium goes up or if protein goes up or down. So there's a ton of all that stuff that touches a bunch of different degree plans.
You have health, environmental, and safety. You have medical. All of those options out there. Correct. You could be, and even clerical, as in the human resources side, and different options in that direction, management, marketing. So I just want to make sure the students that are on here, if you want to go ahead and let us know what field of study that you're in. So if you have questions about your field of study that are relevant to Conagra, then he can speak to those. And that way, if you want to know a little bit more about that area at the facility, then it might be helpful to know what goes on out there. I know that you guys were able to keep our interns, they finished out their internships and our capstone students this past spring as well, even though COVID kind of took a crazy turn on that. So that's good. You guys are very involved in ATU, and that's really helpful for us and for our students. So
I have a question. I'm Jose Navarrete. I'm majoring in computer engineering, so it's computer science and electrical engineering. I have been looking for internships. Is there any possibility that Conagra might have internships during the summer or sometime soon for electrical engineers? or even computer engineers?
Yeah, a great question, Jose. From an IT standpoint, we do have a person in plant who takes care of the IT side of things, so network, servers, assistance with computers and things of that nature. From the electrical side of things, programming and things like that, we use a ton of PLCs. There's a lot of equipment that drives from the electrical servers, servos. I forget some of the terminology. I'm not an engineer. So I think what I'm trying to say is I think if you're open and flexible to how you interpret the term electrical engineering, I think so. There could be some options, yes. I know with I mentioned earlier, the project engineer that we have here, there's the potential that we need some help with automations and things like that, which gets into programming and understanding how the PLC is going to take care of the production floor and the conveyors and things like that. So I think there could be, yes.
Okay, so would it be more of a production type job, being on the floor, or more like like HR department style?
What I would say is probably all of what we do is going to be geared towards the production floor. So even from an HR standpoint, we have it's called CPS. It's continuous improvement processes that we use, and that one of the teachings that comes through CPS is being on the floor. So you may hear the term LCOF, or leadership coaching on the floor. So even though my gig is mostly administration or office or people and having to work in an office, there's still an expectation that we spend time on the floor. So yes, I would say that if you did come here and spent time in an internship in either a manufacturing development associate program, something like that, there's a good chance you're going to spend some time on the floor, yes. But you'll also have off time. So you'll have time at your computer to think and to plan and to strategize, program maybe, but then you also have to go out and deal with the people and the production processes too.
Okay.
It's good cross-training though.
Yes. Well, that's all my questions.
Okay, good ones.
Does anyone else have any questions? Are you planning to have internship programs this summer for any of the students, or do you have that in place just yet? Is it a little early in the year?
Yeah, I need to have it in place. I don't yet.
Okay.
I hope we can, yes, but when Alyssa, when her husband wound up being promoted and relocated out of the Russellville plant, we took a big hit in HR. So we're still understanding some of the relationships we have and some of the expectations we had with internships and things of that nature. So hopefully, yes. Eventually, definitely. I just don't know when.
Right. You might need to call her and say, all right, what now?
I'm like, what did you commit me to before you left? So we still.
Exactly. Yeah, shame on you for leaving.
I got an email from UACCM. I'm like, oh man, we have them too. So yeah.
Yes.
Which is good. It's good. It's just that,
You might have to put her on a remote working kind of situation.
Oh, it's crazy.
Oh yeah, she was really good. She was. So yes, and those are just some of the things that I know the students will be asking about during the career fairs, and just different things along those lines, especially our STEM and our ag, and Jose is clearly part of the STEM part. And so those are just some things that we'll be checking on. And I know I do check with some of our employers a lot of times when students are asking me, what do you have in place? What, do you have certain jobs available, internships? And we'll be checking with alumni before too long. We'll have a mentoring program, which clearly you and Joe are often that other school alumni.
After school.
Yeah, that other school.
But,
so, but we'll be checking with our employers for alumni mentoring. So we'll have to kick you to the curb. But we'll keep you as far as partnering.
There you go.
So we do have a lot of things, and our students really want to get out and do. We did an intern for a day, so that was really helpful. Our students for the spring last year, it was or the fall this last year, it was really good, and then spring kind of hammered us on the head with that. But a great program that might be an opportunity for Jose and Alyssa to come out and see the two students we have on the webinar. That might be an opportunity for them to see what's going on and how it fits in for a day, just to see what would I be getting into.
Yeah, and I agree. I think the other thing that I think you and I were talking about a week or two ago, whatever it was those what we call them micro
internships. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that we may have a project, and Jose, he brings up a good point that, well, am I going to be on the floor? Well, if you come out and do a micro internship, and we got a project specifically that we'd like to help work on. Yeah, you get paid some money, you get some experience. You may come out here and say, you know what, this is this really is a good field, very secure from a job security standpoint, and ton of potential for growth with as big as we are as a plant and as a company. So I love the idea of those micro internships to get somebody kind of quickly in to see what we do and help them decide if this is something they want to do long term.
Absolutely. And I'm looking forward to getting you guys on board with that too. And it's a great, like you said, it's a great thing for projects and a little bit more time just than looking around for a day or following someone around for a day. You get a little bit more, plus they can put that on their resume to see, yeah, I performed this project. You get a reference, and it is maybe an option for them to build that relationship with you all to move forward in the future. So we're excited about that program. I think it's going to be really good and really helpful. And to see a whole new picture of Conagra that's just different than being on the outside looking in. Mm-hmm. So it is very, yeah. Our faculty love coming on those tours. Our students really get a different picture when they go on their internships and their capstone programs and things like that. So I know it's been eye-opening for leadership and for us, all the way around. Every chance I've gotten to see the different industries, it's just, you just never know what's available.
Yeah, it's nice. We've done those leadership tours as well. It's good to see what's in your area, so kind of know what Russellville has to offer, right?
Right, and I've grown up here, so you just don't realize even that we have 47 manufacturing facilities in our town, and it's amazing that we have all that support and all that help here. So, or that your company does all that it does. So, do you have any advice or any information that you'd like to give these students on what maybe their steps are, or some great success tips for their careers?
I think the one thing that I would recommend, if I was going to recommend anything, is you touched on the relationships earlier. So if you get a chance for an internship, if you get a chance to go on a tour, if you get a chance to meet and greet and talk to folks and you can't shake hands anymore, but you know what I mean, building those connections, that goes a long way. Even once you land in your career, I was just having an instant message conversation with one of my peer HR managers in Indianapolis, and saying, hey, here's a recommendation of who to go to for this problem in payroll that we're having. It's the same thing no matter where you go. Relationships are a huge factor. So for the two that are on here, if you get a chance to do an internship or several, man, take advantage of those things. If you get a chance to go and meet and greet people, put yourself out there. It will serve you well as you develop your career. And Absolutely. Let me know if I can help with anything. Let me know too. So I'll be, I've been there. I think we've all been in that position where whether you're a traditional student or you're a non-traditional student, you're looking for that first step, right? And somebody typically has to help you get that first step. So just say so. I'll help.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. And that's why I like doing these, is there's an opportunity to meet someone in either your field of study or in just a facility that they may be looking for, maybe have interest in, so that they do have a connection, or even someone just to ask questions. Hey, what is this? What do I need to do for that next step? We had another student that was asking about business data analytics. And I didn't realize that there was a specification for health in that, just for those. So having contacts to be able to talk to someone and, should we do the straight route and have more opportunities? Should we specify? It makes a big difference in having those routes to go to ask.
Definitely.
So we really appreciate your time. Students, do you have any questions for Mr. Rogers at this time?
No, I don't have any.
Okay.
Feel free to call me Jerry too. Mr. Rogers just still sounds weird to me even today.
Do you want to take off your blue sweater?
I'm stuck with it. I can't wear sweaters. I'm stuck with it.
I think it's amazing. There's a whole movie about him. Come on, he was classic.
I think Alyssa came off mute too. Alyssa, if you had a question.
Yes, absolutely.
No, I didn't have any questions. I had to mute myself though to laugh.
Well, out here too, so you gotta have a little fun while you're working, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Oh, that's great. Well, if no one has any questions and we don't have any further advice, we'll go ahead and let you go about your day. Yes, I want to try that. I didn't know that was available.
Really good. There's no meat. It's all plant-based. There's no meat in it. It looks like ground beef, but it's not. But it's really good. I gotta say, I'm not that kind of person, but this is really good.
No, when you say no meat, I'm like, come on, what? I do like the bowl. I do like the bowl.
The bowls are good. I love the bowls.
Yeah, I will tell you, and Joe and I have had these conversations. I worked at Waste Management twice because I lost my mind, to going back. But I have one of my best friends that works, he's in the Van Buren office, but he was district manager over the two when he talked me into coming back. Lesson learned. But I have done, obviously you guys are my biggest customer, but I have, the recycling option out there, the mission 0 to, waste to 0 or 22 to 0 or 20 to 0. And then there's 2. And I'm like, we're a waste company. How are we going to mission to 0? So, but the more that, I'm in environmental science right now, and I'm thinking, we need to mission to 0. There's a problem. So that's a real great opportunity too. Very, very helpful. I know that Conagra is big into recycling and is helping the environment. So I'm excited about all of those. I will try the steamer. I'm pretty excited about that option. So
I think I'm gonna have that one today. I had purple carrot yesterday, so I'll have the steamer today.
And I know he likes the Bertelli's and the PF Chang.
Those are good.
Yeah.
Those.
I know, and it smells good. I always know when it's spaghetti and pasta day over there because you can smell the garlic coming out of there.
Yeah.
Like,
After you've been here a while, some of it smells good. Some of it you kind of get tired of smelling after a while.
I would imagine. I would have to work in the cooking area because that cold. It is cold in there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll go ahead and let you go and have a great afternoon. Thank you so much for helping us out. Miss Amanda Lowe, do you have any words for us for the final go? Oh, she's got her, she can't talk. So I will close you out. I forgot. There's nothing in the chat. He said, you can, we'll be, yes too.
I know.
All right, well, thank you so much. We have some more coming up for next week. And if you want to volunteer for any of our other monthly comings up, let us know. We'll be glad to have you back.
Perfect. Thanks for having me, y'all. Good luck to you, Alyssa and Jose, and we'll talk to everybody later on.
All right, sounds great. Have a good day. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.